After picking up some last minute essentials, we were ready to make our way down to Cowes to get on the Red Jet to go over to Southampton to go on a cruise with P&O on Aurora to Amsterdam. It was a 4-night cruise. We booked it in 2019, but due to life events and world events, we weren't able to go.
Unfortunately, the toilet facilities in this vessel are currently out of service at this time and do apologise for any inconvenience it may cause. Please be advised we'll be offering a full refreshment service from this sailing if you like.
Now this is quite possibly the most uncomfortable I've ever been on a Red Jet crossing over to Southampton, but I was just trying to show you how quickly we were going. It takes about 30 minutes to get from Southampton to Cowes and vice versa. It's really easy. On board, even though it's a really short crossing, there is some drinks you can get. Again, it's not something you get very often. They kind of walk around the cabin just asking if anyone wants any drinks. And then by the time you've done that, we were in Southampton, we could see our boat. This was the first mistake we made of the whole trip. We went outside to wait for a taxi to go round to the cruise terminal, and we were a little bit impatient, so we phoned and ordered a taxi. But the taxi came to the Red Funnel car ferry terminal, not the Red Jet and the passenger ferry. So we had to walk up to meet it halfway along. But as you can see in the background, just as the car ferry moves over into port, you can see Aurora. It's a really, really short drive up to the terminal. I think it took no more than about 5 minutes. And as you can see, we were getting a lot closer. Aurora is P&O's smallest ship in their fleet. And this was the first time I had been on a cruise. And I think she was absolutely perfect for me. I was able to navigate my way round and learn where things were quite quickly. Hiya.
Just hold the handrail for me, please.
Thank you. Thank you.
There you go. And stay.
Thank you.
Follow them.
I will do. Thank you. When you first get on, the first thing that you need to do is go to your muster station. That's an area that you go to in the event of an emergency. We found it quite quickly and then made our way up to deck 12 to have a quick look round because our cabin wasn't ready yet. After a quick look round, we got some lunch in the Horizon restaurant. They were serving a buffet. We had this quickly before we went and found our cabin. We had booked a mini suite at B239 on deck 10. On the back of the door is all your safety information, and there was lots of wardrobe space, which was good for us, so we were able to hang all our clothes up, including our dresses. We had a really good sized bathroom with his and hers, hers and hers, his and his sinks, a bath, a jacuzzi bath and a shower with the shower head that you were able to move. A little area at the end with the toilet in. It was really well appointed with lots of towels. We got fresh towels every day, and the products that they use in there are the White companies. They use refillable bottles, so you can leave them there and they refill them. We had a twin suite, so we asked for it to be set up in a twin. We did find out later on that actually the sofa was a sofa bed, and we could have had that put up for us every day. Nice area to sit at. We had breakfast delivered quite a few mornings for room service. It had tea and coffee, a staple of any British cruise, a a Tassimo machine with some coffee pots, plenty of tea and coffee, which was restocked every single day, and underneath is a mini fridge. And when we opened the mini fridge, we were surprised to find in there that we had been left some gifts. So we were left a bottle of champagne and a little box of chocolates. Outside on the balcony there were 4 chairs. 2 chairs were really comfortable for relaxing in. There was a table and 2 chairs that you could sit at the table at. The balcony was perfect for a summer cruise to sit outside and get some sun. We used it less because our cruise was in the winter. When you arrive in your cabin, there is the Horizon magazine. It sets out all the entertainment, all the itinerary for the next 24 hours, and it's really useful to sit down and go through it and mark out what you want to do with your 24 hours on board the ship. So it tells you which restaurants are open and what times. You could have a continental breakfast delivered to your room. You filled in the Rise and Dine card before 10 o'clock and hung it outside your cabin, and it was delivered to you at a specific time. The continental breakfast was free of charge, but there was room service that you could have delivered for an additional cost. They did lunchtime, dinner and snacks throughout the night. You just rang them on the phone in the cabin and they would deliver it to you. While aboard the ship, safety is really important to everybody, so they show a safety video before you set sail and also sound the safety alarm. A member of the ship's cabin crew also came and checked that we knew where our life jackets were situated. And not before long we had set sail and we were sailing through the Solent and going past Cowes again. As we'd booked a mini suite, we had the club dining experience. We had set time dining and we had to be in the restaurant at 6:30 every evening. We shared a table with 6 other people, so I decided not to record while we were in there because I didn't want to be one of those people. For my starter, I had wild mushroom panna cotta. My main, I had a beef sirloin steak, and for my pudding, I had passion fruit pavlova. After dinner, we went back to our cabin, unpacked everything and settled ourselves in, said goodbye to the Isle of Wight, and we were ready for the next day, which was celebration day and a day at sea. We woke up to a beautiful sunrise in the English Channel. As I said, I'd never been on a cruise before and I wasn't quite sure what to expect, but I definitely expected us to have moved further than Dover by the end of the night, but when we woke up we hadn't even reached Dover yet. We had a day at sea on our way to Amsterdam, so we got ready and went for breakfast. When we arrived, it was really busy for the hot food, so we got some pastries and sat and waited till the queue went down. Breakfast wasn't quite what we expected, and there were items missing from the buffet that I would have expected to be there, such as mushrooms and hash browns, so we were a little bit disappointed. We went for a little explore around the ship. This was the atrium, which had been decorated for Christmas. All the areas of the ship had also got Christmas decorations. After the quiz, we went to bingo. It was about 4:15 and it was absolutely mental in there. There was nowhere to sit and we had to stand for the hour and a half that we were there for. After the quiz and bingo, we realised that we hadn't had any lunch, so we went to try and find somewhere to eat. We went up to Horizons and that wasn't open and wasn't serving any food yet. It had been set up for the evening restaurant, which is the beach house on this side, and we weren't able to get any food there. So we had a quick walk through, which was difficult because there were areas that were cordoned off that you weren't allowed to walk in. And we went out into the Crystals Bar, I think it's called, where the Lido restaurant is. They serve like burgers and hot dogs and pizzas throughout the day, but we were disappointed to find out that that was also closed. So we sat down, took in the views and had a cocktail.
I'm with you. I thought it was open until 6 too.
We then went back to the buffet and got ourselves a really light salad and a pudding, which was disgusting. We headed back down to our cabin to get ready for formal night and get dressed. When we arrived back into the cabin, we saw on the table we had been left some more presents, chocolate covered strawberries and a fruit bowl. The Beach House is a specialty restaurant. It runs across the whole fleet on P&O. You have to book it in advance. We could only get 9:15, which was really late for us. The cocktail that I had here was really nice, very strong. I think it was a passion fruit, like a pina colada. I can't remember what it was. I had crumb and phyllo straw tiger prawns to start with. And then for my main, I had beef brisket with mac and cheese, pit beans, cornbread and hot link sausages. For my pudding, I had warm apple and pecan pie. I didn't enjoy this one. If I'm honest, and I went back on another P&O cruise, would I go back to the beach house? I don't think I would. The food we had the night before was much better. As you can see, these are just a few snaps from around the ship before we retired to bed to wake up the next morning in Amsterdam.